All right, good morning. Good morning. It's most important first. My friend brought me some Colombian coffee, and I'm super grateful. All right, guys, in today's video, I'm gonna keep it as raw as possible. So it might feel a little scrambled, but I just wanted to make this video as soon as I got back. So mentally, it's all in my head. I'm feeling very inspired, motivated, a lot more focused. And I just wanted to come on here and share that with you guys. So this weekend, I went to Robuilt, who I coach on his host camp course. I think I was one of the first coaches about 3 years ago. This weekend, he did a thing called HostCon, where he brings his entire community together to network and to meet, listen to other great speakers and whatnot. So just an insane community this guy has built in the last 3 years. I think he's the largest YouTube STR related content provider, coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it. Super cool. So for those of you that may or may not know, Robuilt started a YouTube channel as he was following his journey of starting an Airbnb business, renting out his apartment, and then he built a tiny house in Joshua Tree, documented that on YouTube, and it literally went psycho viral. Like everybody who had an Instagram or Twitter was talking about it, and he got featured on YouTube for like the Creator of the Year or something like that. I'll let him talk about that, but he's a really genuine, good guy and has always been there to like support the community in the STR space. That for me, I have just a ton of respect for. Sure, everybody when they're making content has a little bit of fluff to get the clickbait and whatnot, but for the most part, he doesn't do that. He's very, very honest. He's very real with his numbers, his pitfalls, his learning experiences and whatnot. And to me, you don't find too many really authentic people in the space that are willing to share that much information and be able to give out that much free content. So big shout out to Robuilt. What he has built in the last couple of years has been super inspiring to me. I couldn't be happier for him and what he's built and just being a small part of this journey from basically day one has been very cool. So during his HostCon, he invites a lot of the coaches. There's like 10 different coaches, 8 different coaches, a bunch of guest speakers. And the event, I've been to so many different like type of trade shows and STR events and stuff. And I just have a bunch of takeaways. There were so many great speakers, but everybody in the community was willing to talk to everybody, which was really cool. It wasn't like, oh, how many doors do you have? How many? And then, oh, I can't talk to you because I have 100 and you only have 1. It wasn't like that. Everybody was 100% transparent and very cool and honest with each other, which is cool. And I'm actually gonna have to look at my phone on this one because I don't know all of the speakers. Tyreek, if I'm saying that right, guest speaker. He has a TV show about house flipping. I'm gonna send you guys all the speakers down below. Cody Sanchez, are you kidding? She was so powerful on her speak. Very cool. Even got a shout out on Instagram when I tagged her, so that was kind of cool. But she's a rock star. If you don't know who she is, you live under a rock. Levi Kelly, one of the most like down to earth, mellow, nicest guy. I've been following him since my journey, to be honest, and I've always wanted to do what he's doing. He travels to unique Airbnbs, films them, photographs them, and does a really good job on YouTube. His speech was mind-blowing to me. It really opened up my eyes about how the importance of content and how you can get direct bookings from that. Very, very, very cool. Bridget from Bridget Bitch with Funkit Designs. Rob started a Funkit design company specializing in short-term rental, like wow properties, the top 1%, 5% properties. Really enjoyed her speech. Kind of just like reinsured my beliefs about how important design is. You hear me talk about it all the time. And being creative in your design. You don't have to always be super loud, but you can also have beautiful design and get you way better bookings. Some of the numbers she shared was absolutely mind-blowing. Just quick example, she shared one property that all the numbers that they could find only would produce about $75K a year. They came in, did a massive redesign, and it's only been live for like 6 months, and they already have like 190,000 in bookings already done, and another like 190, 200,000 in bookings to come. Whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. Luke Carl, you might know his wife, Ivory Carl. This guy's a total rock star, literally. I kind of knew who he was, of course, because he's a huge figure in this industry, but I never really got to meet him. I gotta say a quick hi, saw him speak. I loved it. It really opened my eyes to more midterm, long-term, multiple doors. This guy has, I think, like a couple hundred doors. They buy like apartment buildings, multifamilies, just so many things I can relate to this dude on, which was very motivating. It was cool to hear him speak and just be very real. And then Isaac French, I've been following him for a long time with Live Oak Meadows, I think it's called Live Oak. They did I don't even know how to explain it because it's so good on so many levels, but they bought a piece of land with some water in Waco, Texas, and it was ugly as hell when it was land, and he saw a vision and he believed in his heart and went out and built the most insane story. Literally, I hope I can interview him on the channel. He's such a nice guy, but he built a bunch of small cabins with Den Outdoors, I believe, launched it on Airbnb, started booking right away, then built his direct booking, and he has a full exit, so he already sold the company for millions of dollars. Whoa, like mind-blowing, opened my story, my ideas, my vision, like what I always feel in my heart, the things that I want to do. But man, I got to sit down with him. Super honored just to talk with the guy. He's such a nice guy, and I look forward to chatting with him a lot more, to be totally honest. Nick Gray, I didn't know too much about Nick Gray either, to be honest. Maybe I should have, I'm not sure, but awesome Instagram, and he is like a master when it comes to working the crowd, getting people involved. For me, a couple of big takeaways was he does like these once a month events, gave us a whole script on how to present like mini events, how to do these networking events where you can meet people, only 2 hours, simple, but really, really beneficial. So thanks to him, I got re-motivated to do some of these local meetups. I do a lot already, but I wanna do them more consistent, maybe some at my vacation rentals, that kind of stuff. So big shout out to Nick, super cool. Hopefully we can connect. I didn't get a chance to meet him. We were both running around, but great stuff. Drew, as they call him, Sub 2 Drew. I've been talking with Drew. He's another coach. He does all things Sub 2, creative financing, and he's actually based in Houston. He actually spoke on stage and just absolutely killed it. He just seemed like a real dude, just willing to help anybody and everybody that had questions. I've seen him on Rob's coaching calls quite a bit. I try to join when I can, but it was awesome to meet him. He does great content, so you guys should definitely check him out, but really, really knowledgeable when it comes to Sub 2 and creative deals. I was absolutely felt like I was a brand new student trying to learn what he was preaching, but we got to talk a bunch, and hopefully, Drew, you see this, and we're gonna sit down and do a video for sure. We're gonna talk more about creative financing because I just learned so much from you in such a short amount of time. Let me just take a few minutes of your time. I hope you're enjoying this video. You probably hear about me talk about this all the time, but you really got to protect yourself if you're a property manager or you own your own vacation rentals. Best solution I have found is SuperHog. You hear me say it all the time. You can do a rental agreement on there. You can do a security deposit, a waiver, background checks, which is legal in Arizona. We have to run background checks. You can do this all in the platform. It's awesome. SuperHog has up to $5 million in damage protection plan. Let's say the kid breaks something. You don't have to go after every single guest for a small incidental. SuperHog will help cover you that. You don't have to go to air cover every time, because we all know air cover is. I use this on all of my properties. I'm always telling people you should do this. You can set it up the way you like it. Right now, I do a $50 waiver to my guests, but also make sure you're very clear in your listing description that you use SuperHog so guests are aware of it before they book. and during the process. So the link is below. Check them out. Please fill it out, the information. They are amazing. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Let's get back to the video. For me, I've been a coach on there from day one. I think I was maybe #1 coach. So how that happened is Rob and I were both on the Airbnb ambassador program. That was the first time I really saw who he was, and then I checked out his YouTube. Seemed like a real, natural, cool dude, and was doing stuff that I was doing. So I set up a call with him. I was kind of in a weird space with my Airbnb journey, and I didn't know where I wanted to go, what direction. So I paid for one of his calls, and it was the best hour ever. Him and I kept chatting back and forth. He really got me inspired. He was like, "What are you doing?" He was cool. He was real with me. He was like, "What are you doing? You know just as much as I do, if not more in certain areas. Like, what are you doing?" And then we kept in contact, and he's like, "Hey, I'm starting this program. You want to be a coach?" And I was like, "That sounds fun. I think I'm kind of doing that with Airbnb right now. Why not keep exploring that?" So big shout out to Rob for like believing in whatever he saw and me to be a part of the coaching from day one. I say that because it was freaking such a highlight for me to meet some of these students that I've been helping. Big shout out to Ian, who is just a total rock star. He's building, I'm not gonna give away too many secrets, but he's building something just absolutely inspiring for me. And I've been helping him through his journey, but he's been doing the work. Gracie, she's awesome. I met her through HostCamp. I never got to meet her in person. She's been interning with me for like the last month. I've been been a mentor to her, and to kick it with her in person, and her boyfriend, Franklin, just awesome. Really cool people. It makes me feel a lot more proud to be her mentor and help her in any way I possibly can. And that was all through HostCamp. Shout out to every single person that came up to me and said that I helped them in some kind of way on the program or just through my channel or whatever. Because I gotta be honest, this was like the perfect time for me to go to this event. Mentally, I've just been really struggling on what direction I really wanna go. What is like making me jump out of bed every day. I freaking love this business. It has given me so much, and I would never be here today. I'm not the smartest dude in the world. It doesn't matter. And a lot of people in this business are not the smartest people in the world. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses now, and I'm very comfortable with that. I was definitely not like that growing up in school, for sure. It drove me nuts. But one thing I have to say also is always challenging yourself. And the last 2 years, I've really been like putting myself in very uncomfortable situations. Filming to me is very natural. It's just me. I'm by myself. I'm filming. It's not that big of a deal to me. Speaking in a group, walking around, chatting people, I get so much anxiety before the event because I used to be around people all the time. I'm not as much anymore, surprisingly. I just really not. I spend a lot of time on my company. I'm not around too many people. I work a lot alone or on Zoom. So I just get worked up. And this event was like the perfect timing for me because I was trying to really figure out which direction I want to put all my eggs in. I love buying homes. I love getting them cleaned up. I love putting them on Airbnb. Some of my properties are absolutely crushing it. And some of them could be doing better, to be honest. And sometimes on your own properties, you don't work as hard because I'm helping a bunch of other people. So this event really got me fired up. You know, like I'm gonna go back and look at one of my properties and talk with some other people about doing some stuff to make it back up to the top 1%. To me, if I'm not in the top 5%, I feel like I'm failing. And the property's still doing great, but I want it to do fabulous. I love co-hosting. I love that for me, but I'm very, very selective, and it's hard to grow in co-hosting for my standards of where I want to be. I want to work with really good homeowners. That's like really important to me, that share the same vision. So I never want to build my co-hosting to 50 properties, 100 properties. That's just not me. I want to be very hands-on. I want to connect big time with homeowners. I want to be able to have creative input on the design and the feedback. And I want my homeowners to win. Not only that, when you're co-hosting, you got to manage the guest, right? So I want my guests to be really happy, and all those pieces have to come together. So this event was really perfect because it gave me a ton of clarity on which direction I want to focus on. I won't go too much of it in here, but I've always wanted to buy land and build something. I've always wanted to buy a hotel or a motel. I've always wanted to do a multi-complex. Those to me seem very scary and challenging, and that's why I'm just dying to do it. But I'm also looking to partner with people. I've never partnered outside of my circle of friends and family, right? I've been very grateful and blessed to be able to partner with some of my family, which is awesome. I want to help other people, and I think a good way for me to help is to partner with them. There's a couple of people I'm talking to right now, and I think it would be so fun to partner with somebody that could, get me to that next level, but then also help them get into the business. So those are some of my goals. Now, a couple other big takeaways from something like this big event, and I'm so inspired right now. You can probably feel it, feeling really, really grateful to be able to talk to some of the people that I got to talk to and help me on my journey. Some of these people that I talk to are brand new. They don't have any properties or just now getting into business. And I was talking them through it, which got me that much more excited about what I'm doing too. So very, very, very cool. I was so stoked to meet all these coaches that I've been coaching on and coaching with for like 3 years. I haven't even met some of them in person, so that was super cool. But I could talk about this kind of stuff forever. Find your passion. Don't go after and chase the money like, I just want to be a millionaire, I want to be rich. Like, sure, we all do, right? But like, you're never gonna find true happiness, and you're not gonna find that money if all you're doing is chasing the money. And this community to me really spoke to that. Sure, everyone wants to make money, but everybody there loved what they're doing and what they want to do and what they're giving back out to the world. And they're all gonna be successful. They are successful, a lot of them. So find your community. It could be host camp, HostCon. If you want, I'm gonna send a link down below. The least you could do is go give Rob a follow on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. But if you wanna be a part of the community, you can definitely be a part of the community just down below. But find your community, get involved. I do a lot of advocacy stuff. That's part of my community as well. That helped me build up confidence to join other communities. Find your passion, tell anybody and everybody that will listen to you about your passion, and then find the people that are motivating you to proceed that passion. The people around you that are pointing you down or acting like they're better than you are, they're not your tribe, right? They're not motivating you. A lot of people told me no, which was great because it only gave me fuel to my fire. But you gotta do the work. There is so many coaches, mentorships, and they're expensive, and the seminars are expensive. I get it. I just wanna be really clear here. You gotta find the one that speaks to you. Everybody has a different model. There's people that all they do is talk about money, 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 how to make the money. That's not for me. That's not my tribe. That might be you. That's totally fine. Just make sure you find a coach that actually has a portfolio and knows what he's doing and is in the community and is, legit, basically, right? Because I know it's expensive. But then don't just sign up and then not do the work. Everybody has to do the work. Nothing is gonna be handed to you if it's on your shoulders. So you gotta go out there and build it, and that's what is great about these communities. It holds you accountable. So if you sign up, you're accountable, you gotta show up, you gotta do the work, you gotta share your story, you gotta share the struggles, otherwise you won't keep growing.